Do you ever have one of those days where you feel like you're the absolute luckiest person on earth? Because I've been looking into Bitcoin for a couple months now and wondering whether I should buy in or not. Because basically the price of Bitcoin has been going up and up and up for a while. I'm like, oh, maybe I should get in on this. But I've been very hesitant. Yesterday was going to be the day I got into it, but I made myself not do it. And today I go in the news and what do you know, the price drops by almost 50%. It was like 260 something bucks per Bitcoin. Now it's 140 bucks per Bitcoin. So anybody who bought into Bitcoin the past week or so is going to be very, very upset. They're going to sell it all off and just avoid it like the plague. Now, I'm not going to go too into depth of what Bitcoin is, how it works, what its purpose is. I'll talk about it a little, but if you want to know a lot, you can just Google it. I put the name of Bitcoin in the title, so you can just look it up. But basically, it's meant to be a currency that is separate from any government. And the reason why a currency would want to be separate from a government is because if a government creates the currency, they can always print more. Or they can affect it in various ways through monetary policy, like affect how interest rates work through the US dollar, or the Canadian dollar, or the Japanese yen, or the euro, or the Swiss franc, or whatever country's currency you are looking at. The government that prints that currency or manages it can change the rules at pretty much any time. If it's not connected to any one source, that can't really happen. The intent of it is to make it an actual currency. But for the most part, people view it like gold and silver, like it's meant to be a great stabilizer. Now, if I want to go buy a car, I can't determine how much the dollar amount compares to gold and just bring that weight of gold in. You know, like in the old movies where you put a chunk of gold on and they just like, and then they weigh it and make sure it's the right amount. You can't do that. You can't really do that. That doesn't mean that gold or silver are worthless. It just means you have to convert it back into US dollars or Canadian dollars or whatever the currency is. But with Bitcoin, the idea is you don't do that. You're just totally separate from their money. It's just Bitcoin. Like, people will buy things for the Bitcoin and vendors will accept it and then use that to pay for their expenses. Now, anything can really be money. Like, you could take a shiny dog turd, and that is money. As long as you can give it up for something, and a vendor will take it and give you their product in exchange for it. But, you know, by that token, people have to trust it. People have to think it's worth it. They have to think that this is good money. This is going to benefit me. And that's why I think there's a problem with Bitcoin. I think it's set up very well, but I think the problem is it has to be accepted, and it will never be accepted probably, because anytime it gets media attention and people are like, oh, look, the Bitcoin, this looks promising, what's everybody going to do? They're going to buy in, and then we're going to get this bubble. Like, this, the media attention that I was considering buying in for it, but didn't, is what caused this massive bubble. If I had bought in, I'd lose all the money, and I'd avoid it like the plague forever, and that's not a good thing for Bitcoin, because you don't want people to run away from it. But anytime people get attention, that's going to hurt it. And if they just don't have attention, it's never going to get anywhere. It's never going to get recognition. That's not to say it's good or bad. I think that, honestly, this might be the best time to buy into it. Because when it's at the bottom of its descent and then it starts to go up again, I believe that's called the TRO, or the TRA of the recession of value. But once it starts to go up, that's the best time to buy back in, because that's when everyone else is selling and not as many people are buying, so the price is lower. But will it be accepted as currency? I don't think it's going to happen, at least in the near future. But if you know anything about this, what is your opinion? Do you think it will ever be accepted realistically or not? Do you think it will have value or not? Do you think it's just some grandiose hope for people to escape the strength of government or not? I think it has potential, but not in the near future. Maybe like 10, 20, 30 years from now. But it's not the technology of today. It's the technology of tomorrow, in my opinion. Let me know what you think. And thanks for watching.